started a new unit which is about motivation, and who are the presenters today?
Sir, me also.
Jairam,
Yes, sir.
Me also.
Vipul, and who's the third one? Forgot. Okay, so motivation is the inner urge or inner drive that make people willing to work towards achieving goal of the organization. So as a leader, you have to motivate the people. You have to impart a kind of drive within the people so that they are always excited to work for the organization goal. So that is the motivation. And behind motivation, there are different theorists who presented different theories behind motivation. And we actually wanted to see two theories on motivation. One is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is a very, very popular theory in regard to motivation, which talks about, needs are dynamic. People's needs are dynamic. And if lower level need is fulfilled, then the people will come up with newer or higher level needs. So it's just, needs are changing. If one need is fulfilled, then there is another need which will crop up. So once that is fulfilled, then there is another higher need which people will look forward to, getting fulfilled. So this is the theory given by Maslow and Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And there is another theory which is called the Herzberg's two-factor theory. Okay, that is the motivation and hygiene. There are two factors. One is the hygiene factor and another is the motivation factor. So he just puts the needs or the motivation with a different perspective. So we would like to see these two theories given by Maslow and given by Herzberg. So that was given as assignment to who is going to present Maslow's?
Sir, me.
So Jairam will tell us, what Maslow's hierarchy of needs is all about. So
Yes, sir.
So after knowing these motivation theories, then we would like to see, how as a leader you would adopt techniques to motivate people. Jairam. Yeah, here you go.
Okay, thank you, sir.
ब्रो तिम्रो स्क्रिन शेयर भइरहेछ
Jairam, are you speaking? You are not audible to us.
Can you hear my voice, sir?
Now, yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, sir. Good morning, everyone. So now I'll be discussing about Maslow's hierarchy of needs by Abraham Maslow. So at first, let's talk about motivation theory. So basically, motivation is a state of mind filled with energy and enthusiasm, which drives a person to work in a certain way to achieve desired goals. So motivation is a state of mind, a mental status of a person that is filled with energy, positive energy and enthusiasm that drives a person to work so that they can fulfill the goals, the achievable goals, the desired goals. And it is very important for a company in a business. Motivation is very important in team members so that every workflows should be done in a proper way. So various psychologists have studied human behavior and formalized their finding in the form of motivation theories. There are many theories, a lot of theories. Maslow's theory, McLean's theory, Herzberg's theories. There are different types of theories that tells us that how human behavior changes and their feelings towards needs, and then how it affects their works. These motivation theories provide greater understanding on how people behave and what motivates them to work. So here, now I'm going to explain about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So in 1943, a paper titled Theory of Human Motivation by American psychologist Abraham Maslow theorized that the process of decision making by any human, is carried out by his psychological needs, And another in the paper book titled Motivation and Personality. So basically what Maslow's hierarchy of needs tells us that there are 5 categories of human needs. 5 categories that dictates an individual's behavior. Those needs are physiological needs or survival needs, safety needs, love and belonging needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. So these five needs are presented as a pyramid. At first, in the lower level, there are basic needs, which has physiological needs or survival needs, which contains food, water, warmth, rest, that basic needs that a human or any animal needs to survive for existence. And another needs is safety needs, security, safety. And another level is psychological needs. It has belongingness and love needs, esteem needs, and finally, in the top level of needs, Maslow has given that self-actualization. This is the top level of needs. After fulfilling all the needs in the lower level, then Maslow told that this is the final and highest level of needs. So let's go with the first physiological needs. It is the first level of needs, which is also called survival needs. What a people or any animal needs to survive, needs to live. This is the most basic human survival needs, which contains food, water, sufficient rest, clothing, and shelter, overall health, and reproduction. Maslow also states that these basic physiological needs must be addressed before moving to the another level. So after fulfilling this very basic needs, then only next level will be fulfilled. This is the most basic need of human being or any animals. Then another level, second lower level needs is safety. So how a person can feel safe. So safety needs includes protection from violence, protection from theft, emotional stability and well-being, also health security, self facilities, and also financial security. And another need is love and belonging needs. This is a psychological needs of human. So in the third level, love and belonging needs, it is related to the human interaction and also called the lower needs. Human interaction means how a human interact with others. So for example, in a company, how employers interact with each other. Among these needs, friendship and family bonds both are biological, and biological family means parents, siblings, children, and chosen family means spouse and partners. Additionally, members in social groups contributes to meeting this need. From belonging to a team of co-workers to forging an identity in a union club, a group of hobbyists. So, in a company, the membership in groups contributes to meeting these needs. So, another psychological needs is, so this is higher needs, beginning with esteem. So, esteem is ego-driven need, means attitude, ego. The primary element of esteem are self-respect, the belief that you are valuable and deserving of dignity. So self-respect means that you are valuable and deserving to do something, to do some work. And self-esteem. Self-esteem means confidence in your potential, that what you can do. Self-confidence, what you can do and how you can do, how better you can do for your personal growth and accomplishments. So Maslow especially notes that self-esteem can be broken into two parts, that is internal esteem and external esteem. So external esteem, which is based on respect and acknowledgement from others. So external esteem means how other people interact with you, how other people behave with you. It may include self-respect or acknowledgement, how people know you. And another esteem is internal esteem, which is based on your self-assessment. Also, internal esteem means self-confidence and independence, how positively motivated you are, how self-confident you are, and how independent you are. And so the final and highest level of need, according to the Maslow hierarchy of needs, it is self-actualization needs. So when all of the lower level needs are fulfilled, then finally a person needs self-actualization. So basically self-actualization means knowing oneself, knowing what you are capable of, what you are best at, what you can do best on your field, what is your purpose, what you can do. So self-actualization describes the fulfillment of your full potential, which also means that which anything you can do with your 100% potential as a person, sometimes also called self-fulfillment needs. Self-actualization needs occupy the highest spot on the Maslow's pyramid. So that's why in the Maslow's pyramid, self-actualization has the highest spot or the highest topmost level in the pyramid. So self-actualization needs include education, a proper education, skill development, the refining of talent in areas. So in a particular areas, what you are good at, refinement in areas such as music, it can be anything, music, athletics, design, anything, caring for others, or anything that you are interested, that you have, that you can give your 100% potential. So these are the 5 core needs in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So in the business perspective, or let's say in a company, for example, physiological needs for an employee. It can be basic salary. It can be a basic salary. Also for safety, a company can give pension or partnership insurance. So, and in belonging and love needs, that intimacy between the employers. And then for STEAM needs, a company can promote the best employer. So in this way, Maslow's 5 hierarchy of needs works. This much, sir.
Okay, thank you, Jairam. So I hope everybody has now understood Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is one of the theories in regard to motivation. And motivation, as I said, is something that is very, very essential for an organization to achieve the goal. So as a leader, as a manager, what you have to do is you have to always have motivated people in your organization. So motivated people means the people who have that, as Jairam said, who has that inner drive or the excitement or enthusiasm to work in an organization with a view to achieving the set goals of the organization. So if you do not have people who are not, if you do not have the people who are motivated, then there is always the question or issue of performance. And if there is no performance from the side of the workers or the employees, then your objective or your goal will never be realized, right? And so how people become motivated is described by Maslow in the form of a theory which is called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is about, needs are dynamic. And the needs actually, they exist in the form of hierarchy. So when, you have to have your basic needs fulfilled first. The basic needs in the form of, you have to have shelter, food, water. These are the things which are the basic needs of the people. So these things, if people do not have these things, they will not be motivated. So once they have these things, which are called the physiological needs, and once these needs are fulfilled, then the things don't stop there, right? So once those things are fulfilled, then the people will have higher level of needs. So once the basic needs are fulfilled, then they will have needs for safety, securities. So if you just compare this theory with the organization, then the people have to have, enough salary for their living, for their food, for their shelter. Okay, so once that is fulfilled, then people will start to have another level of needs, and then, the workers or the employees, they would seek some sort of securities in the form of health securities or financial securities. Okay, once the basic needs are fulfilled, just give me a second, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, the employees, they first seek for these basic needs fulfillment, and once those needs are fulfilled, then they would always seek for higher level of needs, which is called the security needs by Maslow. So they would want in an organization to have certain plans or certain schemes or certain policies for their security in terms of their health and finance. So they will ask for, let's say, for instance, they would demand for their health insurances, their medical insurances, and they would ask for, like provident fund, the savings for their future. So पहिला चाहिँ salary मात्रै भए पुग्छ for their living and shelter and food and everything, but once those things are fulfilled, then they would look for these insurances, the savings for the future. All these things will be demanded by the workers, and if these things are fulfilled, then they will be motivated. So we are just trying to compare the theory given by Maslow and how organization functions. So once those securities are there, once those savings are done, once their insurances are done, then the higher level need will crop up, right? So that is called the belongingness needs and the love needs. Then the people will look for togetherness, get-togethers, communication. So they in the organization, they will look for these things in the organization. So they should be given enough opportunities to interact with the people and to have friendship among the colleagues. So this kind of the warmth it's the warmth that has to be there in the organization. So you feel warmth in the place where you work. So this kind of things are will become the needs of the people. Okay. So once those needs are fulfilled, then there is an esteem need where it is the ego need. So the people also will have to have some sort of standing out image among the crowd, among the people. You want to have a specific, or you want to have a very specialized position. You want to have a prestigious or a differentiated image among the people that you work with. All right. So they will look for that esteem need. That is the ego need. So that is the need for your, prestige, need for esteem. So you stand out, you become recognizable among the crowd. So that is the need that will come up after, this belongingness needs. And the self-actualization needs is the highest level of needs, which is actually, realizing what you actually want to do. So you have come to existence so you will identify why you have actually existed, the meaning of your existence. So if you want to do something very badly and you achieve that, then that is the state of self-actualization. So you want to become number one, as he said, number one musician. Then when you achieve that, then that is the state of self-actualization. So that is the very, very top level needs, which is actually very, very difficult to to be fulfilled. Yes, Maslow has put the needs of a person in the form of hierarchical needs, and once the lower level needs are fulfilled, then as a manager or as a leader, you have to see that people will be satisfied only when their needs are fulfilled, and you have to keep on assessing the needs of the people in the organization, and so accordingly you will fulfill those needs, and so the people are excited, motivated to work and the organizational goal is achieved. So that is the the thing behind the knowing this Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So as a leader, you can devise strategies, you can devise plans to actually keep your people motivated, keep your employees motivated. All right, so it's a theory given by Maslow's, and whenever we look at the theories given by these scientists or psychologists, then actually these are their views. So there are other theories. Then there are other theories who come up with different views on these needs, and there is another view in regard to motivation given by Herzberg, and who is supposed to present that?
Sir, that's me, sir. Gaurav Kisi.
Gaurav.
Yes,
so
sir.
Are you ready to present Herzberg's two-factor theory?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's see these two-factor theory given by Herzberg, and then we'll try to compare these two theories, the Maslow's and Herzberg, right? But let's see Herzberg's theory first, and then we'll try to see how these two are different. Okay, Gaurav, let me, Gaurav. So you all understood what is Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Clear? And nobody speaks.
Sir, is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a Herzberg two-factor theory of motivation, and in 1959, Friedrich Herzberg, a behavioral scientist who was actually an psychologist, proposed the two-factor theory or the motivator hygiene theory. According to Herzberg two-factor theory, there are two factors that an organization can adjust to influence motivation in the workplace, and it states that not all job factors motivate employees. An individual's attitude toward job determines satisfaction, and job satisfaction has two different dimensions. They are motivating factor. So the first is motivating factor, and in Herzberg's two-factor theory, motivating factor are also known as motivators, satisfiers, or job content factors. They are related to job content. The presence of motivating factors causes a high level of motivation and job satisfaction, whereas this absence does not cause uh, high dissatisfaction. So the motivating factors include achievement. A job must give an employee a sense of achievement. This means when they do something worthwhile in the job, they should feel proud. And second one is recognition. A job must provide an employee with praise and recognition of their success. And the third is the work itself. The job itself must be interesting, varied, and provide enough of a challenge to keep employees motivated. And fourth one is employees should own their work. This means they should hold themselves responsible for the competition and not feel as though they are being micromanaged. And fifth is advancement. Promotion opportunities should exist for the employee, and growth. The job should give employees the opportunity to learn new skills. So the second motivating factor is hygiene factors. The in hygiene factors are those job factors which are essential for existence of motivation at workplace. The presence of these factors maintains job satisfaction, and absence of it causes dissatisfactions. Hygiene factors are also called as dissatisfiers or maintenance factors, as they are required to avoid dissatisfactions. And hygiene factors include company policy and administration. These should be fair and clear to every employee. Technical supervision. Supervision must be fair and appropriate. Interpersonal relation. A healthy and appropriate relationship should exist between peers, superiors, and subordinates. Salary. The pay structure should be fair and reasonable. And work condition. The working environment should be safe, fit for purpose, and hygienic. Status. The organization should maintain the status of all employees within the organization. And the last one is security. It is important that employees feel that their job is secure and they are not under the constant threat of being laid off. So, as a conclusion, Herzberg came to the conclusion that NV jobs are the key to motivating employees. An employee is motivated to devote his best effort only when he finds challenging jobs. The scope of innovation, freedom, growth, and recognition of his efforts and achievement from the management. That is all, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So is that clear? Herzberg's two-factor theory. I'm asking you, all of you.
I'm not clear, sir.
Deepan, okay. So that's not clear. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is okay.
Okay, sir.
You understood that?
Yes, sir.
Did all of you understand Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Why is no one speaking? Manish,
Yes, sir.
understood Maslow's hierarchy?
Yes, sir. Very clearly.
And Herzberg's two-factor?
Sir, only I understood that.
Okay.
Sir, only I understood the motivating factor and the hygiene factor, but their subcomponent I did not understand clearly.
Okay. So okay. What about Deepak? Here, speak up. I have to call every one of you by name and then only you speak.
I don't understand, sir.
Huh?
I didn't understand.
Huh? Deepak, what did you say? He's not audible. Okay. What about Tirtharaj?
So I have a few confusions.
Okay. So okay. And Maslow's is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let's discuss a little bit more about this two-factor theory. So Herzberg says that, you know, in order to have motivation of the employees in the organization, two factors actually play a very important role. One factor is called the hygiene factor. So hygiene factors are those factors which are very extrinsic in nature, and if these things are not there in the organization, then the people will be dissatisfied to work. So these things have to be there to keep the people satisfied. It is not about motivating people. It just talks about having the people satisfied or dissatisfied. Okay, hygiene factors, let's say, these are the factors which are which have to be there for the employees to be satisfied. So there is no motivations. So you have to have first satisfied employees. So in order to have satisfied employees, you have to have these factors. So two factors, hygiene factor. So there is another factor which is called the motivator by Herzberg, and these are the intrinsic. It has to be there in the job itself, in the workplace itself, so that the people are motivated to work. Okay, so what actually this theory says is you have to have these hygiene factors improved in order to decrease the job dissatisfaction of the people. Otherwise, people will be dissatisfied. So not about motivations, but about the satisfaction alone. If you have to have the satisfied employees, and for these satisfied employees, you have to have these hygiene factors. But to keep the people motivated or excited to work, then you have to increase the job satisfaction itself. So the job satisfaction factors are the motivating factors, and the very basic things that have to be there in the organization to have the satisfied workers, satisfied employees is called the hygiene factor. I know. Let me share my screen with you. Okay. See. So I know one factor is called the hygiene factors, and another one is called the motivators. So hygiene factors are generally the extrinsic factors that are, extrinsic means something that is outside you, I know, and intrinsic means something that comes from your within. Of hygiene factors, it's all extrinsic factors there. So there has to be, a right company policy. There has to be right supervision and relationship among the people. The working conditions have to be good. You have to have, salary system to work, and there is also, security needs have to be there. So these are the factors which, if not there, then the satisfaction will go down. So you see the downward arrow here, right? So if these things are not there, then the people, satisfaction will go down. And on the other end, the right side, you see the motivating factors. For example, these are the very intrinsic factors within you. For example, your recognition will make you excited to work. If you achieve something, then that makes you, more motivated to work. For example, if your job itself is very interesting kind of a job, and if you are given more power, if you are given more responsibilities, and there is a prospect of growth, so these are the factors that have to be there in order to keep the employees motivated. Yo factors ले चाहिँ motivations ल्याउँछ भने hygiene factors ले चाहिँ these are the very basic factors that have to be there in the organization. Otherwise people will forget about motivation. People will not be satisfied. Satisfaction is down हुन्छ हैन. So in this way Hasberg has put these factors as important factors for employees to have satisfaction and motivation in the workplace. Am I clear now? He talks about two factors. One factor, which is called the hygiene factor. If not present, people will be dissatisfied. So hygiene factors are very, very extrinsic and very basic kinds of things that have to be there in the organization to keep the people satisfied. Only satisfaction. It talks only about satisfaction. But motivation means it's the inner excitement or enthusiasm to work more, to work better. These are the motivating factors, and these factors actually come from your achievement. If you are recognized for your performance, if your job is very challenging, very interesting, then that keeps you motivated. And if you are given more power, more responsibilities, more authority, then it comes from your inside to work better, to work more, to perform better. And if there is, performance related growth path, career growth, people are motivated. So he has divided the factors to keep the employees satisfied and the factors to keep the people motivated.
So hygiene factor ले चाहिँ job dissatisfaction दिन्छ भनेको. Hygiene factor ले.
Yeah. So satisfaction is something that is very basic. People have to be first satisfied, right? Okay. So these are the hygiene factors, are the very basic things that have to be there. That have to be there at least to keep the people satisfied in the organization. The people satisfaction will go down if these things are not there. But beyond satisfaction, you have to have the excited, motivated people. To keep the people motivated, you have to have these intrinsic things, not related to money. In order to have motivation, you have to have, career growth. You recognize like award garne kura, this, you are the best employee. These are the things that have to be there to keep the people motivated. यसले दुईटा फ्याक्टर्समा डिभाइड गर्यो. One very basic, which are called the hygiene factors, त्यति चाहिँ हुन नै पर्छ at least to keep the people satisfied. But beyond satisfaction, there have to be certain things like achievement, recognition, work challenges, more power, authority, growth. These things will keep the people motivated and excited. Am I clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one of the things as managers or leaders you have to do in organization is to motivate people, motivate आफ्नो subordinates लाई motivate गर्न पर्छ भन्ने we understood. Now how do you keep the people motivated भनेको चाहिँ नि one is the यो भन्यो नि motivating factors हरु जुन चाहिँ नि उनीहरुलाई recognize गर्ने, reward गर्ने त्यस्तो कुराहरु you have to have certain reward system to keep the people motivated. अब त्यो reward system चाहिँ नि कस्तो हुन्छ त? Let's see what kind of a reward system you have to have in an organization to motivate people to perform better. So whenever you are having this reward system in the organization, then it has to be tied with their performance. Reward system अब हुन्छ नि हाम्रोमा त like you must have seen हाम्रो यो के संविधान दिवसहरुमा I'm talking about the national level reward system, है. अब अफिसहरुमा पनि त्यस्तो हुन्छ. I know you do not have actually proper performance based evaluation नै नगरिकन this person got this medal, this person got this medal भन्यो भने it's not at all tied with the performance. So whenever you are designing any reward system, then it has to be in accordance with how they perform. To performance based and reward system hunu parcha. It shouldn't be like you like somebody and you reward them. So whenever you have to have reward system, whenever you are having reward system in the organization, then it has to be tied with their performance. You have to evaluate their performance, and then accordingly those who perform better has to be rewarded. So whenever you are doing this reward thing, then you have to define the performance. यसरी performance गर्नु पर्छ भन्ने you have to have certain benchmarks, certain targets दिएर you define the performance. Then you evaluate how people chase those targets and meet those targets, and how people perform, and accordingly after evaluation then you have to reward them. So whenever there is a reward, then actually rewards are given to bring about change in the attitudes and behavior of the people. So why reward systems are there? Reward systems actually motivate people by changing their attitudes and behaviors. So when you are rewarded, then your attitude, your behavior will definitely change. Right? So that's why reward systems have to be there. And when we talk about the rewards can be extrinsic and reward can be extrinsic. Let's see what these extrinsic rewards are and what are the intrinsic rewards. Okay, extrinsic rewards, it's money related rewards. So when we are talking about rewards, if it is something that is related to money, then money as the motivating factor, or money as we talked about X theory and Y theory. X theory भनेको चाहिँ के हो भन्दाखेरि it's the belief of, or it's the school of thought where it is considered that people do not want to work, people are lazy, so you have to push them, you have to beat them, so you have to apply a stick. उनीहरुलाई लट्ठीले नकुटेसम्म काम गर्दैन भन्ने जुन बिलिफ छ, that is X theory हो भने people will work if they have good environment, if there are favorable conditions, then it is something that is you are actually giving a carrot. It's carrot and stick pani bhन्छ के त्यसलाई. That's why money is the carrot here. लट्ठी देखाएर काम गराउने, pushing, forcing, coercing गरेर काम गराउने X theory हुन्छ भने कसैलाई चाहिँ नि राम्रो काम गराउनको लागि you show them incentives. पैसा देखाएर okay, you will get this much money if you work better भनेर भन्यो भने you are not pushing them, you are actually attracting them, or you are pulling them towards performing better. If you are doing pull factor, if you are using pull strategy, that is the carrot or Y theory. And if you are using push strategy and showing the stick and making the people work over it, that is the X theory. So here you're using money as a carrot, money as a attractor, money as the factor to make people work. You said extrinsic. So here for extrinsic rewards, you increase the salary, you increase the wages, you increase the benefits to them, any sort of incentives in the form of monetary benefits, whatever, that is extrinsic rewards. So you have to have very good incentive plan for your organization. So incentive plan for individuals, incentive of group ma काम गरेको छ भने group लाई नै reward गर्ने, individual लाई reward गर्ने देखि लिएर, if you have multiple units, multiple businesses, then organization level मा reward गर्नेहरु पनि हुन्छ. For example, within the organization you reward certain individuals for their good performance. हो भने within department wise पनि हामीले evaluate गरेर okay, marketing department performs better, so this department is rewarded bhन्छ भने, if you have businesses, many businesses, even though my food business gets rewarded and my automobile business does not get rewarded भनेर organization level ma, individual level ma, group level ma, you can have these incentive plans, right? अर्को चाहिँ के गर्न सकिन्छ reward system भन्दाखेरि, one way is to have this piece work wage system. Piece work wage system भनेको चाहिँ कस्तो हो भने, your pay is based on the number of units that you produce. कतिवटा बनायो त्यही अनुसार. For example, if you are a carpet को छ अरे हैन, उसले चाहिँ नि carpet 1 meter carpet weave गर्यो भने यति पैसा पाउँछ. So people will be motivated to make more outputs के, धेरै आउटपुट ल्याउन खोज्यो नि पिस. अब स्यालेरीमा 1 month को स्यालेरी फ्ल्याट भयो भने you will get money in the end of the month anyway, so the people will not work. त्यो चाहिँ नि त्यसलाई मोटिभेसन नै हुँदैन के. तर पिस वर्कमा चाहिँ नि बेस गर्यो भने, एउटा बनायो भने 1 रुपैयाँ, दुईटा बनायो भने 2 रुपैयाँ भन्यो भने चाहिँ नि, that is the piece work based wages भयो भने पनि people will perform better. अर्को चाहिँ नि बोनस. बोनस इज बोनस भन्ने थाहा छ? सुनिरा छ कि छैन हुन्छ के मलाई चाहिँ फेरि like when you don't show your response. You know what is bonus?
Yes, sir.
What is bonus? Huh?
Profit आफूलाई सबैलाई बाँड्दिनु बोनस.
Yes, distributing the profit to the employees as well. हैन त. अब हाम्रो बोनसमा, हाम्रो बोनस लमा चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि 10% of your profit. Organization ले बनाएको profit मा net profit मा त्यो 10% चाहिने it has to go to the employees. भनेको that is the bonus. And the commission भनेको चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि again यो piece rate जस्तै sometimes you have to base your wages in the form of commission के मैले चाहिँ नि अब सेल्स पिपल लाई चाहिँ नि मैले त्यहाँ पसलमा चाहिँ नि तिमीले चाहिँ नि उले जतिवटा कस्टमरलाई जति अमाउन्टको बेच्छ त्यसको 0.5% त्यसको 1% चाहिँ नि म तिमीलाई दिन्छु त्यसको भन्यो भने that is the commission. हैन उसले धेरै बेच्न खोज्छ नि त अनि उसले कमिसन पाउँछ. So many jobs are sales को jobs हरुमा धेरै जसो commission based हुन्छ. उनीहरुले धेरै धेरै बेच्नको लागि चाहिँ कमिसन दियो भने फ्ल्याट भयो भने पुश गर्दैन सेल्स, right? So if it is commission based, मैले जतिवटा बेच्यो त्यतिवटा त्यति नै कमिसन पाउँछ भने then I'll actually push my sales. So that keeps people motivated. Profit sharing, again, profit pani share गर्ने, apart from bonus, you can also have the profit sharing with the employees, or you can also have shares given to the employees. The employees like त्यसको ownership share नै दियो भने पनि they will be motivated to work because from that they will have this ownership. मेरो पनि यो उद्योग मेरो पनि company हो भन्ने चाहिँ उसको त्यो आउँछ. त्यहाँको फाइदा भएको सबै त्यो on the basis of how much shares he has, he will get the dividend, हैन? त्यस्तो आउने भइसकेपछि then they will always be motivated to work. So these are all money related के यो चाहिँ सबै money related reward system हरु भयो भने चाहिँ that is the extrinsic rewards. So this is money is something that is considered as very important thing by everybody. So money related rewards, which are called the extrinsic rewards, have to be there in the organization to have the motivated people. And whenever you have these reward system, whether monetary or non-monetary, always make sure that you tie this reward system with their effort, with their performance. The performance सँग tie चाहिँ गर्न पर्छ है. So that is extrinsic rewards हो भने let's see what are intrinsic rewards. Intrinsic rewards मा चाहिँ is there अर्को कसैको presentation थियो? I think there is another one as well. Oh,
sir, मेरो थियो.
कसको रे?
Sir, मेरो विपुल. हजुर सर.
के थियो? ग्रुप है?
ग्रुप हजुर सर, ग्रुपको बारेमा.
ग्रुप, ओके. यो extrinsic गरौँला एकचोटी अनि that is something related to motivation. Extrinsic गरिसकेपछि then we'll go back to अघि पहिलाको chapter को त्यो ग्रुप चाहिँ we'll listen to people after this intrinsic factors, right?
Okay, sir.
So whenever you say it's extrinsic rewards, these are money related rewards over भने अब चाहिँ नि non-monetary rewards, it's not related to money. अघिको सबै पैसासँग जोडिएको चाहिँ नि reward system हो भने these intrinsic factors or these intrinsic rewards are not money related. These are job related rewards, है? So अर्को मोटिभेसन गर्नको लागि अर्को रिवार्डिङ फ्याक्टर्स चाहिँ के हुन सक्छ भन्दाखेरि you make their jobs challenging, you make their jobs interesting. So if you are given more interesting jobs, more challenging jobs, what you think is you become you feel that you are an important person to the organization, and then you feel you are rewarded. Job or interesting job or challenging diyo bhane, then you feel the importance, and from it will come from your within to work better. Okay, job interesting बनाइदियो, challenging बनाइदियो भने. And another one is you have to have this autonomy, freedom, control हरू चाहिँ नि मान्छेलाई दियो भने they feel they are rewarded. If you do not have autonomy, you do not have any flexibility, you do not have any power, you do not have any control over anything, then you just feel that you are controlled by others, then that just become very demotivating to the people. But if you give somebody more controlling power, more authorities, more responsibilities, more flexibilities, त्यस्तो दियो भने they know that that's a reward to people, that makes people motivated and involve people in decision making. Some very important decision is to be made, and you also involve your employee in that decision making, they will feel proud of themselves because they are also part of the decision making process, and then that's a reward to them. Responsibilities, more responsibilities given, more motivated they are. And another one, very important thing is whenever people are performing, then feedback can be a reward. Give them feedback. If they work very good, then say at least well done, or स्याबास राम्रो काम गर्यो भनेर feedback मात्रै दियो, या even if they perform not that good, tell them, guide them, हैन? त्यसो भयो भने पनि that is something that is non-monetary reward that the people feel that they are getting. Good working conditions, so you have to have very good working environment. If your working environment is not good, for example, your physical environment as well as your psychological environment or working conditions, there has to be very good relationship among the people who you work with, हैन? त्यस्तो relationship को कुरा, त्यसको working physical conditions को कुराहरु is also very important. And अघि feedback भनि नै सक्यो, praise and appreciation for performance. Always praise, always appreciate if somebody performs good, हैन? त्यसो भयो भने पनि these are all non-monetary reward that you can devise for your employees to be motivated. And whenever you are having these things, always tie this thing with the performance of the people. I mean, when you are doing this extrinsic one, tie up with the performance, and these are the very intrinsic rewards that you have to have, making the job interesting, challenging, power, autonomy, flexibility, responsibility. यस्तो कुराहरु चाहिँ नि becomes the motivating factors for the people, and these are the intrinsic rewards, right? Now I stop here, and I'd like to listen to Vipul. That was part of our previous unit, right?
Sir, can you please give me authority of post?
Sure, give me a second. Yeah.
Is it visible?
Yeah.
My presentation topic is concept of group and characteristics and types of group. Let's talk about concept of groups. According to Stephen P. Robbins, group is defined as two or more individuals interacting and independent who have come together to achieve a particular objective. According to his theory, like according to his saying, there must be involvement of two or more members, and they must be interact with each other and interdependent among the group members, and they have to come together to achieve organizational objectives or organizational goals. According to Arnold and Feldman, concept of group is a work group is a collection of two or more people who interact with each other, share similar interest, and come together to accomplish some work activity. In this theory, he added the concept of similar interest of people. In a group, there must be similar interest in people so that they can interact with each other, so that they can achieve organizational goals easily. This picture illustrates that there are more numbers of people interacting with each other, and they are from different department as well, and there is a leader who is leading towards the organizational goals. And this states that there must be involvement of various kinds of peoples with various skills as well, and a leader is very essential for achieving our organizational goals. Let's talk briefly about it. The characteristics of group are collection of people, interactions, similar interest, common goals, leaderships, as well as skills. People Collection of peoples means single individuals cannot form a group. For the group formation, at least two or more persons are needed, and there is no specific limit for the maximum number of people. Uh, Group operate in the social situation as well. People must be motivated towards joining the membership of the group. The involvement of people only does not make a group. There must be interest. There must be common goals of collection of peoples as well. Let's talk about interactions. There is an interaction among the members of group. Each member shares their ideas with each other through the different communication methods, such as face-to-face communication, writing over telephone, across the communication networks. They must interact with each other, and interdependent as well, interdependent among the group members. If they do not interact with each other, then they will not be able to achieve the goals, achieve the objectives of an organizations. So interaction is also a basic point for formation of group. Similar interest. Group of members should share the similar interest. They should have the similar norms and values of the organizations, and they serve as a code of conduct. Interest varies from people, but for the formation of group, they must share the similar interest so that they can perform certain goals. Common goals. The members of group work to achieve some common objectives of our purpose. In fact, it is a common purpose that binds the group member together. If they do not have common goals, then they might not achieve organizational achievements as well. So they must have the common goals. Group members must have the common goals. Leadership. The main point of formation of group is leadership. If there is no leader, or there is no far-sighted or well-visioned leader, then um, creation of goal creation of group is not worthy. They must have the good leadership which is well-visioned, so that he can lead towards the target or goals of the organizations. The leader provide the leadership. Skills vary from person to person. Every person does not have same skills, so the skills of the group are random and varied. They are used to attain the group goals. So skills is also very important. So these are the characteristics of group formations. Let's talk about the types of group. Group are two types. One is formal group, and another is informal group. Formal groups is further divided into command groups and task groups, and informal groups is further divided into interest groups and friendship groups. Let's talk briefly about the formal group. The group which is established by an organization to achieve the organizational goals are called formal groups. In formal groups, the behavior that members should exhibit is conditioned by organization and directed towards the organizational goals. It is defined as the formal group is also defined as the organization structure. It is established under the formal authority. It has work orientations as well, and
This class will end in 10 minutes.
it has work assignments to accomplish the tasks. Formal group is further divided into two parts. One is command group, and another is task group. Command group is composed of a supervisor and the subordinates who report directly to the supervisors. A command group is determined by the organizational chart. Let's take an example of command group. For example, in the Department of Business Administration of XYZ, a head of department and other faculty member in the department will comprise a command group. These departments will work together, they form a group and they work together to achieve certain goals of the organization. And their positions, their department is different, but they have certain goals and certain roles also. So that this formation of group is a formal group. Another group is task group. It consists of people working together to complete a particular task. It involves cross command relationships. It might be permanent as well as temporarily to form complete a specific temporary form to complete a specific work assignments. Task groups is all about a group formation for completing a certain task. We can take example of any software company that if we get a project, then there must be involvement of various departments like various peoples like designing group, coding group. Then they are assigned a certain task to complete in a certain time. So these types of formation is task group. Taking briefly of these groups, then we can say that all command groups are also task group, but all task group are not command groups. Command groups are also formed to perform a certain task, so it can be categorized as all command groups falls under the task groups. Let's talk about the informal group. Groups which are not formal are informal groups. In other words, these are the groups that are neither formally created or controlled by the organizations. These groups are natural formations in the work environment that appear in the response to the need of the social contact. We can take example that in an organizations, if we are sitting in somewhere, then if we met someone, then there might be a creation of informal group. It is stated that four employees belonging to different categories, departments, taking their lunch together represent an example of informal groups. They are not controlled and they are not formatted by any organizations. They are formatted, or they are generated by themselves. Interest group, it is divided for informal group is further divided into two types: interest groups and friendships groups. Interest groups are composed of individuals who may be members of same organizations. It might be of a command group or as well as task groups, but they are united by their interest in a common issue. We can take example that employees banding to reinstate a colleague who has been fired by a management. Let's talk about the friendship groups. Friendship groups are the associations of people who like each other and who are like to be together. Such groups are formed because members have one or more common characteristics such as age or ethnic heritage, political beliefs, religious values, and other bonds of attractions. We can take example that the group of people speaking the same language or holding the similar political viewpoint. Such groups are called friendship groups. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so that was all about groups. So when we say it's a group, it has to be more than one individual. They share similar interest and they try to achieve similar goal. There can be formal group in an organization or informal group in an organization. Informal groups are those groups it's been said that informal groups are for example, they are temporarily formed groups, as he explained. One of the employees got fired, and then the people just came together to form a group to raise voice against the termination of his employment. यसको लागि in ग्रुप्सहरु कुनै इन्ट्रेस्ट भएर informally form भएको ग्रुपहरु हुन सक्छ भने then there are formally formed groups in the organization where certain problems are there in the organization, and then the management can convene a group, form a group with experts, with the people having skills, similar skills, putting together to solve the problem, then that is officially made groups very informal groups in an organization. Then you have also groupisms in terms of political viewpoints, your politics on the basis of your political ideologies. You form groups. Sometimes you have groups on the basis of gender. There is women's group, men's group. So those are actually the friendship groups and informal groups that exist in the organization. And the groups, they have the similar likes, dislikes, similar interests, similar goal. भएको चिजलाई चाहिँ नि ग्रुप हुन्छ र ग्रुप इन्फर्मल ग्रुप्सहरु कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ नि इट्स डोमिनेन्ट कोअलिसन ग्रुप्सहरु हुन्छ. Those groups can be very, very strong in the organizations, and they are politically driven to to fulfill their vested interest को लागिहरु पनि ग्रुपहरु फर्मेसन हुन्छ. And so groups are also a kind of organization which is a smaller organization. You can just consider this group as a smaller organization where there is a leader to lead, to control, to self-managed groups. It's a smaller version of an organization in a nutshell. So is there anybody who has not done the assignment or who has not presented in the class so far among you?
Sir, mere bike.
Ajay Kumar. Okay. So what you will do in the next class is
this class will end in 3 minutes.
I'll give you one motivation through employee participation, right?
Okay, sir.
Motivation through employee. How you get the participation of the people so that the people get motivated in the organization. So that will be the assignment, or yes, ma'am, Ferry will discuss more after your presentation, because these are going to be your assignment marks. And I have now you can upload your presentations. Whoever have done the presentations, you upload those slides. I have created one assignment section in there, and all of you who have presented can upload your slides onto that. Okay. So I'll see you in the next class, and our class will start with the presentation on this motivation through employee participation, and we'll continue further. Okay, this much for today. I end the class now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, all of you.